Hello, my name is Julia Tosti, and for this week's experiment, we were looking at acid-base reactions. By doing this, we created a vinegar and baking soda rocket. So for this experiment, it's pretty simple. The materials that are needed are baking soda and vinegar, obviously. Just an empty plastic bottle, it could be a soda bottle, water bottle, whatever you have around. Pencils, preferably the ones that aren't sharpened yet, to give you a flatter base, and I'll explain why on the next slide. Duct tape, and a wine cork, or honestly anything that can fit within the mouth of the bottle. So to set up this experiment, we have to make a stand for our rocket. So we do this by using the pencils. I used 3, you can use 4, whatever stabilizes the bottle enough. So you put the pencils with the unsharpened side down, that way it's flatter. And I learned this from multiple trials, but make sure that your cork is in the mouth of the bottle when you're measuring how high to have the pencils up, because if you don't do this, the base won't be stable because the cork will be longer than the pencils and it'll collapse and the rocket will go sideways. So that happened a few times for me. So you'll use your wine cork, or like I said, anything that fits in the mouth of the bottle, and this will kind of prevent your reaction from exploding too soon. So once you have your stand set up, you're going to fill the bottle with vinegar. I filled it probably like a quarter of the bottle. It depends on how high you really want the bottle to shoot, but I did a quarter. And then you're going to quickly insert the baking soda. I did about a tablespoon. Again, the amounts can vary. So you're going to quickly insert the baking soda, put your cork in, and flip it over so that it's on its stand, and you'll have maybe seconds before the bottle rocket shoots up. And I'll show you in the next slide. So as you can see, I'm pouring the baking soda in, and I spilled a little bit, but I'm going to quickly put my cork in, and flip it over, and it shot over the fence even. So it's a very quick reaction, and I'm going to explain what's happening in this reaction on the next slide. So what's happening here really is, so vinegar is a diluted acetic acid, and acetic acid is a weak acid, and that mixes with a weak base, which is sodium bicarbonate or baking soda, and these two react and form carbon dioxide. So as you can see, this is the actual reaction and the equation of it. So the diluted acetic acid mixes with sodium bicarbonate. That yields carbon dioxide, water, sodium ion, and acetate ion. This actually occurs in 2 steps. So the vinegar and baking soda actually create a sodium acetate and carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is extremely unstable, so it undergoes a decomposition reaction, and this produces the carbon dioxide gas. So what happens with our bottle is that the carbon dioxide builds on the surface of the container, or our bottle in this instance, and it forces our cork that we put in out of the bottle, and it creates this launch. And like I said, this is an acid-base reaction. So what happens is this acid and base react to form water, and in the process they form this carbon dioxide gas, which again just builds on the surface, and it causes this explosion that we saw in the video. And I think it's a really great way to teach kids about acid-base reactions, and it's a very, very simple way to explain it, just because these are 2 weak acid and bases, so it shouldn't be too dangerous, although I almost did lose an eye to a cork on one of my failed trials, but it's really fun for kids, and it's really interesting to learn about acid-base reactions with this experiment. So thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a little bit about acid-base reactions. Thank you.